Hi, my name is Barbara Parrish, and I'm currently a student at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. I'm studying to get my Master's of Teaching. In this assignment, I will be looking at an activity you can use to engage students within their learning. I can't wait for you to join me. As it's summertime, I cannot use my own students. However, I recently had the opportunity to spend time in the kitchen with my nephew. As we made a cake because it was his birthday, it made me consider how can we do activities like this to explore learning. I know my nephew loves doing things where he is hands on. He wants to be in the learning, he wants to be doing things himself. Also, he's 9, so he just finished third grade and is going into fourth grade. At this age, I feel like students are learning to do things independently. They want to be independent in their learning, they want to be a partner in their learning. They are not going to be interested in sitting and listening. At least he's not. And I used him as my example. As I just previously stated, my nephew is 9 years old, so for him, he just finished third grade going into fourth. And as we were baking, it made me think of fractions and measurement, and it turns out that is one of his standards in North Carolina for third grade. For us, he was able to measure. We were missing a measuring cup, so he also had to figure out how to estimate from cups to milliliters, which was interesting. I think overall, it helped him learn so much and made it applicable to his real life. For my nephew, it was culturally relevant as it was recently his birthday, and instead of us buying him a cake like usual, he wanted to make his own cake. Within a classroom, this would be an incredible opportunity to include stakeholders. You could see if they would be willing to volunteer and share recipes and teach children about their cultures, they do so. And even if they're not able to come into your classroom, they can send in recipes that is important to their culture and that their family loves. This is an incredibly hands on activity, as this is where students can measure, convert fractions, and problem solve as a team during the activity. I know that we are here to teach students academics, but it is so important to also consider their social and emotional growth throughout the year as well. They are able to convert fractions by having, doubling, or even tripling a recipe. Or, like I said, we were missing a measuring cup, so we had to learn to estimate cups to milliliters. By doing these things, it teaches students to work on their feet, use the information they have around them, and do their best. One highlight of this activity that I genuinely enjoy is how it is customizable to the students you're teaching. For a student who may not be able to read directions, you're able to create a visual set of pictures for them to know what they're doing. You can help pre measure ingredients. For students who may be advanced, they can do the math of half of the recipe, doubling the recipe, or even tripling the recipe. By doing this, they're having to multiply and divide fractions. You need to create activities where you are able to keep all students of all levels engaged. Also, this is innovative as students are working on something, also seeing how it applies to the real world and get a product to be proud of at the end of it. I think as soon as you have students be a partner in their learning, it becomes much more real for them and they're able to understand more. And if they're engaged, they're actually paying attention to what you're teaching. Assessment is so important when you're teaching students because you can have the best activity, but if you're not assessing for learning, it's a total waste of time. A way you can assess in this activity specifically is you can simply sit back and observe. You can see where students are really, really doing fantastic or where they may need help. Also, you can have them reflect after the activity as an exit ticket so you know the logic behind their math and you can get a view inside of their brain. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video fully. I hope I'm able to give you some unique ideas to include in your own classroom. Have a great rest of your day.